So now we're going to cover just a brief message about our black male counterparts. So we know that for the most part, they do a shaming of the weave, all right? And to be honest, the premise of what they are saying is not wrong. It's just not nuanced, and it's not articulated properly, and they have no leverage really when they talk about the weave. It's not, there's no compassion. There's just bashing, and that's why we have not really listened to anything they have said. Plus, they have never really provided any situation for us to or provisions for us to where we had our own infrastructures to where we could just wear our own shit, you know. So it was kind of like, yeah, whatever. So while he doesn't have the spiritual articulation to make the point with having the compassion and love, because he really doesn't have much compassion and love for himself, so he's not going to. Some do. Some obviously can say things in a way where it's understandable, and you're like, okay, I get it. But we know, and pretty much anytime they bring up the hair weave thing, it's from a place of shaming. And the reason why I'm bringing this up and I'm putting it in this video is because the premise of what they have said and the things I have heard them say many times is actually pretty. It makes sense, you know. So here's the thing that the black guys say. They say, well, if you don't like the hair on your head, and that's all I've seen growing up, why don't I just go and get the girl that has the hair, the actual real hair that's on her head? So they have been saying that we subconsciously and inadvertently seek the women of the hair textures that their moms are aspiring to ascertain. This is what they're saying. They're saying that they are pushing, that black women are pushing black men to seek out the other woman, because they say if you're wearing a Mongolian weave and willing to spend rent money or Brazilian or the blonde hair, then they as a child has picked up on that, and if that's the standard that you're setting the standard, and so they go out and seek that standard when they grow up. And they feel that if a woman does not like herself, and even from their moms, so if the woman doesn't like herself, they start to kind of pick up on how mommy feels about herself from watching her in her relation to her hair. And that is pretty much what they're saying now. They wasn't at first. They was just being stupid, because here's the thing: when we do wear the natural hair, and they say it's ugly, or they not talking about 4C. They think every black girl got 3A hair, 3B hair, or some shit. And when you go into the 4C and the 4B, then they want to still clown you. So it's either one way or the other. Now, some black men legitimately don't care about the hair texture, but this is what they're saying. That is the best articulation that we have gotten, and as far as breaking that part down. So I get the premise. Again, they have to be solid. They have to be consistent, because when the black woman does wear her natural hair, is that the woman that you go for, right? So there's things, and then the black woman, all men are attracted to the black woman, so she can date whoever she wants. But I'm just saying, as far as our black male counterparts, whom most of us are attracted to, I mean, as far as dating wise, so that's who we're dating the most as black women. So and vice versa. So they're saying these things, and they're not being consistent. So they need to be focused on being consistent in that messaging, and understanding that themselves, are you brainwashed to not like the way the hair comes out of the black woman's head? Because they are, right? So they don't like the 4C hair, and they don't like the 4B hair, right? So that's where it all started. It starts from the 3 contexts that I gave you earlier. It starts from the imagery and representations and standards of beauty and this stuff in this country, and then you have black men, you know, they do only like certain hair textures, or they go for certain hair textures. Even if they say they don't, they're lying. You know, a lot of times they have not been consistent. So I would say, since most black men nowadays are saying, well, if they feel that growing up their mom didn't like their hair, and then they felt like, well, I'm not gonna like hair because mommy didn't like her own hair. Here's the thing with that: the mother is the first teacher of the race, black woman. You literally have pretty much free reign over the planet, because you are God. Just to be simple. And I know a lot of you don't like to hear that, and a lot of you, do the Jesus thing and stuff. So I get it, I get it. But you're the first teacher of black children. It just is. So it is important to show our children the beauty of our own image that brings them into the world. And so that is pretty much why black men complain about weave. They don't contextualize, and they lack the compassion. So once they get those things, like just how I did my video, and once they get those things down packed, a lot of them sisters would, because y'all don't listen to black women. Y'all follow, and y'all so male identified. You gonna do whatever what a black man say. So black men, if y'all come out with some shit like how I did, breaking it down, don't just copy my shit. Give me some credit. But if y'all come out, because I know it's gonna be black men watching, because they nosy about knowing about weave and stuff. So if you have that compassion and they can feel that love, black women, they'll be like, okay, whatever. But you got to be consistent, and you really do got to love the black woman's hair texture. Because I'm teaching these black women that they are the first teachers of the race, and once we are comfortable with ourselves and teach it to the children, and then you have to teach black children to be compassionate to us, then that will happen. I taught, remember I told you when I told the baby that I helped raise, how he needs to have compassion to his mom, and understanding, and understand context and what happened, and why the black woman wears so much weave and stuff. You have to tell your kid that. Just be honest, and be able to be vulnerable with your kid. You ain't gotta be vulnerable with the world and stuff. We be vulnerable with each other, but if your kid is asking you about it, tell them. Just lay it out about how you feel. Have some insecurities, you have some complex around it, and tell them why. Give them the 3 points. Tell them about the discrimination, and sometimes how you still feel pressured. Just tell your kid that, and say, I just ask you to have understanding and compassion. Why you can't say that to your kid? I know that sounds like, oh, you the parent and the kid that's not a way to raise, especially if they asking questions. I'm telling you, I know kids who ask questions about this shit, about weave. So I'm telling you, just lay it out and let them know. And that's how the son, especially if it's a black boy, because most of the questions come from a black boy, that's how they get to compassion and the understanding. And I have talked with black men who said they understand it. They know that what it's saying though. They say, yes, it seemed like they don't realize that black men know that the black woman has some insecurities and some issues around it. But they say they understand it. Well, there's a lot of them that say that, but I came across like about 2 men that say they understand why, because they just happen to be able to see the bigger picture and understand what happened to us in this country. And usually the more intellect you get, the more better these things are. You're able to contextualize everything at that point. So the black man, he's learning part of his self-esteem and part of his self-worth in relation to how mommy feels about herself, whether we want to admit that or not. Everything they learn comes from their parents, from the woman and the father. And a lot of times, let's be real, the fathers are not in these households, so they learn a lot of shit from you. And even if you're not teaching them, they're not meaning to teach them that. So a lot of this obsession with these women's hair, the Mongolian or Brazilian, and getting, to be honest, they learn that from you. They're learning that, and then they saying, well, let me go to Brazil. Remember all the black men were saying, we got to go to Brazil. Yeah, they was stupid as hell, whatever, and yeah, they was ridiculous to think that, because you see how that plan, all them women, those was just prostitutes who just wanted the little bit of American dollars they had, so they end up running their ass back here to America, broke, and played with a baby or two. I'm telling you, I actually know a man that happened to. So they were saying that from a place of obviously ignorance, but they were also saying it from a place of self-hate, of course. But where did they learn that from? So they just did the male version of what you're doing. So they might not have put a Brazilian weave on their head. They just felt to go get the Brazilian girl, but all they saw was you put the Brazilian weave on your heads, and they said, let's go get the Brazilian girl because I can't get along with black women. Now they can't get along with black women because they can't get along with themselves, and he didn't want his damn self, right? So he don't want you, but he don't want his own damn self. But guess what? Did his mama want herself? So the shit is deep, and it's so intricate. But I'm one of them people that I like the truth. I don't really care how it makes me feel. There's so many things that I have grappled with in this community. So many truths that have literally sent me into multiple depressions throughout the years. Because I won't lie to myself. How do I say this? I'm not in a phase of my life anymore where I like to create alternative realities or like to just be in denial. It's never been a part of my personality, but the path that I walk I'm not allowed to make that kind of stuff a part of my personality. Right? So I'm not able to just be in denial or to turn blind eyes to stupid shit. I really love the truth. I love the truth. I just like that. So the good, bad, and ugly, even about myself, the good, bad, and ugly. And again, once you know the truth and you accept it, you do get depressed. I've been extremely depressed, knowing many things, many truths about the black woman, knowing many truths about the black men, knowing many truths about white people, knowing many truths about the black community, knowing many truths about the world, knowing many truths about the spiritual world. I'm surprised I'm not crazy, because the spiritual stuff really gets you, and that's the stuff that you be like, whoa, the truth about the spirit world and the truth about how the world works, and that's the stuff that I'm just like, oof. But I would say, as far as what sent me into depression and drinking and doing all types of stuff, I would say that the hurt and the pain that I felt from, knowing so much information about this community, the black community. And I mean, I could lie, I don't know. I not so much lie, but I could turn a blind eye to a lot of things, but it's just not personality. So when it comes to the weave thing, I won't do that either. I just won't go along with the protective style and all the things that we say. And the black men, guess what? They're wearing the weave too. They get the extension on, or and they cut it to make it look like a fade when they start going receding hairline, and it looks nice. It looks. They try to do. Now here's the thing. That's not a lot of that. That don't be 4C, because they all pretty much have 4C hair, maybe 3B or whatever. They had a real kinky hair, and I be seeing 3A toupees, black men, and then get it cut to get it to the fade, and they got the waves, all throughout the hair, but it's real short. So that's something we might want to talk. You want to get bashed on that, black man? We can do the bashing. And so if you don't want that to happen, you gotta understand the black woman's plight. And nobody really care. I personally would don't care about if the guy wears the toupee or whatever, if it's a receding hair. I don't care about receding hairlines, but if they that damn sensitive about it and get the toupee or whatever, I'm not going to care. But you're not going to be putting fucking glue on your head that you're allergic to. It's going to rip, it's going to cause bleeding or something stupid like that. And I won't allow if you got 4C hair, the most I could go with is maybe 3C, 3C, 4A, 4B, whatever. Okay. But if they start going, just too ridiculous with it, 3A and all that, I don't think I could do that with a black man, if he wants to put that toupee on his head. I don't think I could get with it. I would just rather them just go bald, just cut all your hair off and go bald. But so that's the new thing now, and they are spending top dollar for these man weaves. You talking about $200, $300, and it lasts a month. To put the glue on it. They need to start making some type of organic glue for black people if y'all gonna put that shit on your head. Seriously. So they're putting that on their heads, and guess where they're getting that from? Mommy. They're getting that. Where did black men learn to get some fucking weave in their head? So in regards to this weave shit, the black men have been learning how to feel about our hair, how we feel about our hair. It's as simple as that. How do we relate with our kids? How we don't understand the dynamics between the proper dynamics between black children and black women and the black father. We don't understand the proper dynamics between a man and a woman, especially the context between a son and a mother, and how that gets projected onto all women. We all know that. But I'll say this to say that they copying everything you do. Even now, they putting the weave in their damn head. They copy everything, and they even getting Brazilian. What's that? That Brazilian wave, and getting it cut into a fade and shit. So, eventually, I'm just glad they was honest and just was like, shit, I want to put some shit up in my head too, like you got some shit up in yours. So this is how it goes, ladies. So now let's get to some solutions. So I really want to just show you, and when I say solutions, it's more of a programming visualization solution. So what we're going to see, and what you're going to see here, is pretty much me showing you various hairstyles. So you're going to see some that are braids. We're going to start with natural hair, and then we're going to do natural weave, and then we're going to do a juxtaposition between the styles I'm going to show you against what you're currently doing and what you're currently doing to yourself. So let's look at what y'all want to do first. Let's look at natural hair. So as you can see, ladies, we're going to go through all these photos. Ladies, nothing can compare. Nothing can compare to how you look, ladies. Look at you. So we see the beauty. Look at this face right here. Look at this face. Wow. So here we see the afro hair. So really, I want you to visualize these styles on your head, because this, what I'm doing now, is more of a subliminal. I'm trying to do. It's very quick, but trying to reprogram the subconscious mind. So as you're seeing this, this is the archetype of ourself. You know, obviously some of us don't look like this. We might be the same color, may not have the same texture, but these are black women. Okay, these are our sisters. Okay, so this is how many of us would look, you know, if we do our hair. Look at this. Look at this beautiful sister. Okay, so this is, just imagine yourself with these hairstyles. Do the visualization with me. Okay, and this is to encourage. Look at all these styles that you can have. You know, you don't necessarily need those weaves, you know, unless you want to add some length, but it's already, you know, hair that looks like this. You know, look at these styles, these twists. And even, see, I wanted all types. I wanted short. I wanted all types of hairstyles, long. And as you can see, look at these are medium curls. And this is a lot of black people's hair. This is one of my hair textures. And a lot of our hair textures will look like these little curls. And we think that's nappy. And there's something wrong with that. And we got to go and perm it and go put a damn wig on it. Okay? And look at this. 4C. Look at this. Beautiful. It's thick. It's luscious. It's beautiful. Nothing compares. This stands out. Look at this. Short teeny weeny afro. Beautiful. And look at her face. You can see her face. You can see her skin. You can see her natural essence. Look how cute that is. Look at that. That's a more elaborate style. She has the braids, and then she has, I want to say those are flexi rods, some type of flexi rod. So that's an awesome hairstyle to do. And any hair texture for black women can achieve that hairstyle. And that's her real hair. I think she's a YouTuber, but I have seen this girl a couple times for her, and that is her real hair. So that is these are the things I want you should be aspiring to do. Like, here's the thing: as I'm showing you these things, it's not for you to say, well, they have like this this hair porn moment, or like a jealousy type thing of these sisters. Really see yourself in these women to an extent, and know that this is your look. This is what's beautiful. These are the styles that make you unique. These are the styles that have been tarnished and ostracized and discriminated against purposely out of jealousy. Now you see why you had to wear the damn wrap on your head. Look at this. That big old hair. That's her real hair too. Many black women have hair like this. Look at this. That's her real hair as well. Now you see why would you let a black woman like this walk around if that's your competition. You're going to say, put a white wrap on your head. Then you want to convince that black woman to put that stupid weave on her head that does not even look like her hair texture. Try to shame her and won't hire her if she wears her real hair. Now you see why. Look at these. Look at this. Why? Now you see. This is very elaborate. She has the Bantu knots in the front with the flexi rod curls in the back. So now you see this whole trauma, this whole fragmentation has been projected onto you. Now you see why. Look at those curls. Look at this beautiful hairstyle. This is more of a traditional African hairstyle. Again, please understand that the doing and the discrimination and the hatred of your hair is a internalization. There is nothing wrong with your hair. It's an internalization of all of the context that I gave you, and has manifested into self-hatred. But we have to undo that, because it doesn't make any sense to look like this, black women, and to mutilate yourself like I showed you those pictures of those broad edges on the side, broad middle, and all that shit. It doesn't make no sense to do that to yourself when you look like this. Look at that. Beautiful. Love that hairstyle. Love those Bantu knots. So that's you. And that's how I wore my hair for a couple years. Well, after the first year of my hair getting cut off, that's how I wore my hair, with the short curls. It grew a lot more than that, but that's an awesome hairstyle to wear. A lot of black women wear their hair like that. So, ladies, this is just done to showing you this stuff so you can see this beauty. Look at this 4C hair right here, this afro. Now you see why they want you to put that white rag on your head and made it a fucking law, a whole ass law. Make it against the law for you to wear your 4C afro. And now you really hate your afro when you don't have enough sense to realize it was a brainwashing technique, a womanhood breaking technique out of jealousy. So now that we look at that one, I'm getting worked up. Let's go and look at the natural. You want to do natural weave? Let's do braids. That's what we love. So look at her. Nice big braid to the side. I wear that a lot. That's one of my favorite styles to do. Look at this. Beautiful braids. This is elaborate. This is glamorous to me. I had a black girl tell me that she knew how to do braids like this, right? She was an African. And she said out her mouth that she straight up said, I can't wait to take these braids out so I can get something more glamorous. I said, what you mean by that? She said, I'm going to get me a sewing. I said, what kind of sewing? So I could show you the picture. I just cannot believe that this girl said that a sewing weave that was straight was glamorous. So I said, you don't think them braids you got, mind you, they look just like this. I said, you don't think them damn braids you got in your hair is glamorous? Nah, this remind me of the struggle that I had to do when I was out in New York City. You know, it's so expensive. So I had kept my hair braided, and it just reminded me of the struggle. And I wanted to slap her. I just was looking like, oof. This is glamorous. This is so glam. Look at the way she got them edges laid. Even if she didn't have them laid. This is a beautiful hairstyle. And look at the twists. I don't know what kind of twists those are, but those are something that's new that the ladies are rocking. More glamorous braids. Beautiful. This is what the black woman looks like. And she got her little edges laid down too. You know, that's just our style. You love the edges or whatever. You can keep that. Beautiful. That's the hairstyle that my granny used to make me wear when I was a kid. Braided up in a bun like that with my real hair, no weave, because nobody put a perm in my hair. I told you that I put a perm in my hair. I put my perm in my own hair. So that was the style that I wore as a kid for like 2 years. Look at how beautiful her face is. Stop thinking that you can't compete in this world if you don't have a straight weave in your head or the standard of beauty and stuff. Y'all already know that standard. How is standard of beauty if you aging? Like, none of this makes sense, black women. You're the first being on this planet. You know that you have this melanin that ages you slower. You know that you're beautiful. You know you have a curvy body, a beautiful body. Like, stop thinking that stop being brainwashed. Like it's ridiculous. Because you compete by being your unique self, and you know that you are God, and you know that you're the first being. Dude, just embrace that and realize that and really accept that. And now you're gonna see everybody gonna start looking like you. Now everybody's starting to copy off of you. Instagram changed the game. Instagram literally shattered the standard of beauty. If it wasn't for Instagram, because all they wanted to put on social media, in the media, was the black woman looking with a stupid wig on her head, loud and drastically big, and not even sexy big, but just drastic, and that's what they wanted to show. Instagram blew the keg off that motherfucker because it showed how the black woman really look. And these black women got these banging bodies, beautiful hair, whether they skinny, whether they thick, whether they big, these women is beautiful, and they got all types of hairstyles on their head, and that changed the game. So keep doing that and keep promoting that. Don't get back into the brainwashing. Don't let society, come on ladies, like, band up together and start forcing your will in this world. And you're gonna force your will by bracing your locks. Like, you do put locks in your baby girl's hair at 2-3 years old. By the time she's 15, 16, her shit will literally be down to the damn ground. That's a fact. I've met girls, their parents put locks in their head, as a kid in 5th grade or whatever. Man, by the time they're 26, the shit is just 30 inches long. They can do anything they want, and it's their hair and it's locks. The Rastafari, they not Rastafari or whatever, but beautiful locks. So start putting that in your baby girl's hair, and then now that's how you manage it. Don't not put a perm in her shit and then say it was too hard to manage. If that's the case, you would have just put some locks in your shit. That's what I'm saying. Y'all created an alternate reality of fragmentation and think nobody else knows and picks up on it. Like, nobody's dumb. I know you're really, really smart and you can play people really well. That is not something that you're gonna really be able to convince people of. Because if that's the case, you just would have put locks on her damn head, sister locks or something. So no more perms and none of this stuff that y'all doing, because it's not a good look. I showed you them pictures of the ladies with that hair damage. I showed you all of that. There's nothing that compares to your look. You're looking at these styles. You're looking at these locks. Look at that. You're seeing these braids, and nothing compares. Nothing compares. And now you see, I keep going back to, now you see why there was a law to cover your shit up and banned and schools of wearing afros and all this stuff. You should know that there's nothing wrong with you. And a lot of us do know. A lot of us do know that it was just jealousy. A lot of us do know that. So that's good. Now let's look at the natural weave hairstyles. So really can't tell the difference between this and the natural hair. Look at this one. That's a weave. And that's perfectly fine. It looks beautiful. Can't nobody snatch her shit out. She probably got that shit sewed in, and she got her real hair out in the front, like how I do. I wear that style a lot, when I was wearing a weave. It's the pandemic, so I haven't been too lazy. But put your real hair in the front. Look at this one. Something like that. The curls could be a little more kinkier, but a lot of black women, they have their hair like that in the front. Look at this one. Do the twists. I do those twists all the time. I've been doing them twists in my hair since I was like 13 years old. Them twists are so easy to do. Ladies, them twists in your hair. Put a wig on it. Now this was the one I was talking about with the yaki. This is how the black woman's hair looks when it's straightened. There's nothing wrong with this look. Because nobody can look like, nobody's going to put that on their hair but you, because that's your hair texture, right? So don't think like, oh, I can't wear, you saying that we can't wear straight hair or nothing like that. This is straight hair. This is how your straight hair will look. There's no way around it. Your hair is not going to look bone straight like an Asian woman's. It will look like this. It will be kinky. It will start sweating out. It will start, so something like this. And if you want tip links, I'm telling you, I can hook your shit up. If you want links and some information about, I wish I'd show you some pictures of me. If y'all interested in we do a private group, whatever, I could show you pictures of the way I wear my hair, and y'all gonna be like, yo, what kind of stuff is that? And I don't spend no $100 on fucking hair. And I will give you the links and stuff of what to do. I'll do private tutorials. I'll do stuff to show y'all how to get this shit looking right, and have it matching your shit. Okay, I even know how to do. I had a friend who had 4C hair, look like a sponge, and when I say I can work with any hair, I'll be getting her. She used to have me do her shit, and I can get her hair looking right, whether it's twist out, whether it's even a ponytail bun, like glamorous bun, the African buns and stuff. I know how to do all that with any hair texture, because you might have to put a little more product in the 4C hair, but you can still do any texture with that if you want it slick. But if you don't have to use any product for 4C hair. But I'm saying if you want that slick tight bun and you know, or the twist, you know, with the hair coming on the side and stuff like that, those are easy to do. So, ladies, look at this one. I used to love that style in high school, by the way. So she got the ponytail to the back with the curly hair sticking out. That's a nice one for the black woman. And see, that looks a little more manipulated, but it's still, looks good. Look at this one. And of course we have Sierra, and she got her some faux locks. Those are not real, but once again, it's a perfect style for the black woman. Looks just like how she looks. And then you got, these type, I don't even know what kind of curls these are called, but a lot of black women are wearing those. Those are pretty. I don't know what it's called, and I never wore that before, but I've always liked it on ladies. I always liked it. And then you get something like that. You may be able to get away with something like that. Like, that's nice. I know you black women, it takes steps. So that's why I put stuff in here that, not to freak you out, but to get it, baby steps. And more twists, more fall twists. Those are very beautiful. And then that's the 2 braids with the weave on them. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Again, another ponytail with the kinky ponytail. More of those extension yaki hair that looks like your hair when it's straightened. So ladies, you got options, and we can really change this around. You become the standard by creating the standard. You compete by being your natural self and not ascertaining to other standards, because then it looks like you are saying that your own hair is inferior subconsciously, whether you want to admit that or not. So this is why, ladies, I show you these pictures so that you can see how you look. Now I want to show you. Now what did I just showed you, right? What I just showed you, do that look better than this blonde hair right here on this girl's hair? Look how she look. Now she's beautiful, but look how we play ourselves. Look how society encourages the black woman to hate her hair due to the 3 contexts that I gave you. Now look at beautiful Nicki Minaj. Now we all know Nicki Minaj is best with black hair, her real hair, or the black hair with the extensions on it. We always know that. She know that her damn self. That's what she said. Look at this. This don't look right. This don't look good. Even you see a beautiful girl, but it's like something don't feel right about it. Look at this. Look crazy. Now this is the protective style, ladies. This is the protective style. That's a protective style. Protective style. Protective Mama D. Protective style. Look how, Mama D is very pretty. She look good with a little fro. She look real good with a fro or locks. Look at this. Look crazy. This shit is lifting up off her head. Nene Leakes. And she's funny. She looks so much better before all her surgeries. She's a beautiful woman. She doesn't see that herself, which is so unfortunate. But Nene Leakes, I'm showing her again, not to bash her, but look how crazy this look compared to what I just showed y'all. How does it compare? Look how crazy this looks. And imagine her with locks. Imagine that shit. Imagine her with an afro. Look at this. Nene Leakes again. It looks crazy. The blonde hair. Beautiful lady. Blonde hair. It don't look good. It's what I showed you. It just don't. And this one, it looks good, but again, it's like, okay, like, I'm telling you, it sends that message, whether you want to admit it or not. This blonde hair stuff doesn't look good. This blonde straight stuff doesn't. Come on, that's an Asian woman's hair. So you do the comparison yourself. Go click back to what the hell I just showed you and look at this shit and tell me what look better, ladies. I even showed you some damn celebrities. I even showed you Nene Leakes and Mama D. So this is, if that's, they think that's looking good. She on TV looking like that. It's not, black ladies. It's not. Nothing compares to looking like how you look. Nothing. These ladies, no one can fuck with this. These ladies look beautiful. And again, if you want to put a little extension on it, you know, put a little extension in there or whatever, okay. These is your natural look. We just want you to start that healing process about the complex and understanding the context. And we want you to understand that this video was made with compassion and made to get the black woman to see that society has projected their own insecurities and jealousies onto the black woman to make her feel insecure about her hair, make laws even further securing insecurity about her hair, make discrimination laws, making sure that if she doesn't acquiesce and assimilate, then she won't get a job to even put food on the table. Then putting all this stuff in the magazines, all this stuff in the media to show her that she's not the standard, basically trying to even do more shame of her hair. Then get her men to be self-hating of their own self, and the black woman is already lost herself, and she's teaching that to her kids once again. So it's a feedback loop. So we got to understand all these things. You have to understand what has happened so that we can heal, start the healing process. And I don't care if your hair is already missing like that, like those pictures I showed earlier. It doesn't matter. There's always redemption. It doesn't matter if you still have to put a weave on your head. Just don't put a glue on it. Don't put anything you're allergic to on it. Don't make it like making sure it's not bleeding. Stop putting the perm on it. If you still have to wear that wig, if you're gonna wear that human hair, make sure you sage that shit or use some Palo Santo to cleanse it. You gotta wash it, and you want to spiritually cleanse that human hair. If I do, that's why I do ultra and free tress and shit, because you don't know the blueprint of that hair. So I will encourage you to do the natural stuff, something off with it. But ladies, if you're going to do it, I know it's baby steps. I know it's baby steps. Some of us are way beyond it. Some of us go out. We don't give a fuck how our hair looks. It's her natural hair. We don't give a damn. We wear it nappy. We wear it wherever. So, I'm not talking to you. But our sisters are not there. We've seen those pictures of those bald spots all over their head and stuff. And if you do have that, just know that it's most likely some sort of allergy or some type of tension that years of perms and stuff. And even if it doesn't grow back, like even if it's just permanent, and I would say to either go, you can do the bald, you can go straightly bald, and embrace that, and it most likely will grow back. I know the doctors will be telling you don't grow back, but they told that to somebody in my family, so who knows. And also, you can still adorn your hair. You cut the perm out or whatever. You still may have to wear a prosthetic wig on or whatever, because it has turned it to alopecia at that point. You didn't have it, but then it's so much wear and tear on it. It's turned it to like it will never grow back. And I understand that. And in that sense, you still want to massage that head. You still want to put a bit of mint with a little mixed with glycerin and shea butter. I don't care if it's a bald spot. Rub it in there. Adorn yourself. Adorn it. Sit in that sun. And don't be ashamed if you go out in public and you don't feel comfortable and you have to put a wig on, whatever. Okay, but when you're at home, wear it out. I would say just stop putting perms in it and just cut it all bald. Like those girls that we saw with the bald shit all around with the hair sticking all, just cut that shit off. And just be bald then. You know what I mean? And rock your shit bald until you get comfortable enough to be able to go outside. But when you get in the house, man, get the berries going, but just rubbing it and massaging it and and embracing it and letting the sun hit the bald head and sit on in the backyard if it's just permanently damaged like that. So if it's not, then lucky you, and you can start over. I think you should start over. But black women, just understand what this video is made for. Understand that it's made for our healing. This is a part of a healing part. We got so many parts to heal on, but the mental fragmentation of the complex of our hair needs healing. Whether you're still natural or not, because even when we get natural, we want to bash the other black women. That's still a part of the complex. It still needs healing too. So that's what I have for you ladies, and I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Bye.